What is up guys, today we are going to build a V8 engine out of a Mustang, and to be exact out of a 65 Mustang. And this is how it should look in the end. It is a 1:3 scale of the real engine, and it should spin and work just as a regular engine, and we are going to build it together. I'm very excited to see how this thing will work in the end, and throughout the process I can learn so many things, and I'm pretty excited to build this engine with you guys. And yeah, let's get right into it. Our first step now is to build all these 8 pistons. Right now we are gonna mount all the pistons to the crankshaft, and right here is the crankshaft. It is a cross-plane crankshaft which has an offset of 90 degrees. So the first one and second one have a 90-degree offset, and this is very characteristic for the burble sound of the V8, because Ferrari also use V8 engines, but they don't have that characteristic burble sound because they use a flat plane crankshaft which has an offset of 180 degrees. The fire order of the banks in the Ferrari is always even, whereas in the cross-plane crank the fire order is not even. A lot of AMGs, BMWs, and also the Mustang use cross-plane cranks, which is very characteristic for the sound, and I can show you a few clips of the Ferrari and the burble sound so you can see the differences. I have now fitted all the pistons inside the crankcase, and the crankshaft is now spinning, and you can perfectly see now the V8. There are always 2 cylinders mounted on one crank mount, which is pretty interesting. I always thought that each piston is mounted to the crankshaft separately. I am now mounting all the little cams onto the camshaft. I have now fitted all the little cams onto the camshaft. Camshaft is mainly there because of the timing of the valves which let in fuel or let out the gas which has been burnt. This is what makes this possible. This is just insane. Like, we are now inserting the crankshaft into the crank casing. Now we've come to a very important step, such that the upper wheel and the lower wheel, so the camshaft and the crankshaft, are in the correct timing. We have this tool right here, and we have to insert this tool in here. Right now it is correctly aligned. To make it permanent, we have this cam belt right here that we are putting, with the alignment tool is still on, and we are putting the cam belt. Okay, now this was a bit cumbersome, but it ended up working out pretty well. The engine is timed up. We have now fitted the starter motor, which is attached by a gear with the crankshaft, and this motor allows you to start the engine when it's not running. So when you turn your key, this little motor spins the engine. We're moving on to the sump. This is where the oil sits in, and this right here is like kind of a stand which has a badge that I'm going to mount, but this is not relevant for the inner workings of the engine, but the sump is. We are now going to combine these two and screw them together. It is now starting to come together, and you can definitely see that is a V8, and we're not done yet. We still have a lot of parts left, a lot of screws, so yeah. We are now working on the cylinder heads, which will be attached like this afterwards. I have now opened up these tiny springs to fit the valves with these pins, and there has to be a spring loaded onto this one, and then I'm going to fit these valves. Okay, I have now fitted all the valves, and that's how it looks right now. Pretty cool. Das Haus für die Familie. Driplord, sagen die Leute, wenn ich in City gang. Lauf durch die City, lauf um wie ein Bär. Jack Wolf, Skinner, flexen sehr. Softshell-Jacke, ich glaub, du hast gesehen. Lauf um wie ein Bär. Girl sieht aus wie ein Meer. Und schon gesehen, ich glaub, ich will mehr. Lauf um wie ein Bär. Jack Wolf, Skinner, flexen sehr. Softshell-Jacke, ich glaub, du hast gesehen. Lauf um wie ein Bär. Okay, so one side is done, but unfortunately there's two sides, so I'm going to skip this part and I'm gonna do this myself. So okay, I've got now both ready and we're headed off to the next step. We're now going to insert all these 16 push rods into these holes right here. And as you can see, down there is the crankshaft, which will be igniting these push rods. There are 16 of them, 2 for each cylinder, for the intake valve and the exhaust valve. We are now going to fit the left cylinder head onto the crankcase. This is the head gasket, and I'm sure you have heard cars with head gasket, and this is just it's just to seal off these two components so that no fluids can pass through. Now screws. I have just screwed in 3 screws and put the head gasket in. We are now fitting the cylinder head covers. We are now going to fit this intake manifold with this drive gear right here on top of the engine. Lord, ficker Bands, wat een minivan. Big Bro, macht es alles für die Familie. Driplord, sagen die Leute, wenn ich in City gang. Lauf durch die City, lauf um wie ein Bär. Jack Wolf, Skinner, flexen sehr. Softshell-Jacke. We are now fitting this crankshaft pulley onto the engine. I also fitted these 2 brackets, but it's nothing special, just 3 screws here, 2 screws. And now we're gonna fit this crankshaft pulley. Now we're coming to the exciting stuff. These are the spark plugs, and I think these light up because they have a little light in front of them. Pretty excited for this because this looks so cool. I am now going to remove this timing tool. I now need to fit these spark plugs inside this hole, I think, and they go right into the cylinder. And I have to fit them in the right order, else it probably won't work. I just noticed that there are numbers marked right there, so I can easily fit them. I already thought I had to do like follow them, but it was impossible. So okay, I'm pretty relieved that there are numbers out there. Okay, now I fitted all these spark plugs and even made these little guides right here. We are now going to fit the exhaust manifold, and there's two, one on each side. Okay, that was by far the most difficult part, to fit those exhaust manifolds, but unfortunately I kind of broke one, but you can't see it. It's enough stable. Broke something right there, but yeah, it's enough stable. We are now going to fit this air filter, which is the second last piece in this puzzle. Right here is the fuel pump, and it's also just clipped in. Let's see. Okay, fuel pump is on. There is even a little dipstick where you can measure your oil. I found the dipstick hole. It is right down there. And let's go. That's it. The last things is the cover, and it is one in German and one in English, and I'm not quite sure which one I should choose. I think I will do the English one just because. Okay, the engine is now done. I have a few screws left, but I think these are just spare ones. But yes, the difficulty level I would say is around 6 out of 10. But the thing is, it was very time intense, so it cost me a lot of hours, but it was so much fun. And now we're gonna test it. If I press the button, it should run for 30 seconds, and I hope I did everything wrong. I didn't test it yet, so let's give it a shot. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the one who gifted me this. It's the best gift I have ever received. Oh, this is so crazy. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.